Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a while making videos, especially videos in the workshop. And tonight we're going to be making a knife out of an old file, which is this here. That's the rough kind of shape of the knife that I'm going to be doing tonight. It's called a Seax blade. It's mostly found in the Viking era, around about maybe 500 AD to 1000 AD. And that's what we're going to be making tonight. It's quite a thick file, so there's going to be a lot of work needing done to this. And obviously this is hardened steel, and I don't want to heat treat it again because I've not really got the equipment to do that. I could do it using my fire out in the garden, but it takes a very long time, especially a blade this thick. So we're going to try and avoid heat treating this. So what we're going to do is, when we're cutting this, we're going to try and keep it as cool as possible to stop it overheating and damaging the molecules inside the metal. So anyway, what I'm doing just now is, or what I've done, is I've got a piece of paper and just drew around the file so that I've got a rough shape of how it's going to look, so that when I'm cutting the file I can get the piece of paper and just put it against it and see where I'm at in terms of shape. It's going to be quite a straightforward design. There's not going to be any fancy curves or details or anything like that. It's just going to be quite traditional, just a straight spine. You can't really see. Just a straight spine on the top, linking in with the handle. It's going to be a full tang as well, and a straight belly there as well, with a nice straight slope down. So it's quite a simple design, and we're going to stick to that. So it should be fairly easy to make this knife, but only time will tell. So what we'll do first of all is we'll give this a general shaping. We'll just cut this corner off, and we'll see what we're left with, and we'll go from there. So that's us taking the corner off the blade there, and we've taken the tang off as well, because it was the tang was inside the handle when it was a file. So that's looking more like a knife now. I still need to. I cut off just slightly less than what I should have, because I didn't want to risk taking too much off. So as you can see, it's not really a point yet, but we'll file that down with the angle grinder, and yeah, that's looking good. I'm really happy with that. So as I said before, it's quite a thick piece of metal, this. Originally I wanted to try and keep some of the file design on the actual blade, but because of how thick it is, I'm thinking we need to take quite a bit of metal off of this. So we'll see what happens. I'm just rolling with it, see what happens, going along with things, and yeah, see what the final outcome is. So what we're going to do now is we'll change the disc on the the angle grinder to a sanding wheel, and we'll sand this down and see what kind of point we get on it. I think the sanding wheel's just not taking as much off as I wanted to. As I said, it's already hardened, so it's a really tough piece of metal to work with. We're going to switch wheels. That was a bit of a thin one that I was using to cut. We're going to put a thicker one on it, just to try and scrape a lot of this excess material off. So every now and again I just take out the vise and put it in a pot of water. Because even though spraying it does cool it down, it just doesn't cool it down enough. But there we go, that's looking quite good. You won't really be able to see it because I've made some lines on there, but there you go. Looks okay. I mean, that does it just now, and then take it to the bench grinder and get a better finish on it. That's looking good so far. That's the way a Seax should look. Like that. It's got a nice bit of weight to it. So there's a lot of metal there to work with if I need to. But hopefully we're going to take quite a bit off this. But anyway, we'll get cracking with the next step. So that's looking good now. Looks nice and straight. However, it's really hard to tell because the lines are still on there, the lines that I originally painted on. I was a bit unsure with the angle that I wanted, that's why there's a few different lines. So I'm going to just get a little bit of oil, put some oil on it, get a wire brush and try and get some of those marks off. And then we'll see how straight it really is. And if we get another file, we put it on top. You can see there's a bit of daylight coming out of it. Bit of a belly there. So we'll take that off, not a problem. Yes, of course, I should really be using a steel rule, proper straight edge, but this does the exact same job. So we need to bring it here, need to grind it right back, but then that's going to change the angle. I'm not sure I want to do that. Looking at that just now, doesn't look too bad. That's absolutely fine. Quite happy with that. Once we finish off, we could go back over it with the sander, with the angle grinder, with the sanding wheel. I mean, that's absolutely fine. Okay, now it's on to the good part. Putting an edge on this. So to put an edge on this, I'm just going to roughly draw where the blade is. I'm just going to roughly draw where I want the actual grind to be. So it's maybe going to be about there and have it slope down to about there. That's what I'm thinking. We'll try that. So I'm just going to start putting an edge on this. I'm sorry for all the bad camera angles. My camera stand's actually broke. So I'm just kind of putting it up on some boxes, trying to get the best angle. It's not the best, but I wasn't even going to make a video. So it's good that I'm actually making a video. What I'll do is, once I do a little bit of work, I'll take the camera and I'll show you what I've done. And then I'll put it back and we'll just keep doing that. Once it's all edited together, it should look really good. Then we'll get cracking. So I've got on okay. It's taken a bit of time, quite a long time, but that's expected. The metal's just so tough and so hard that it's going to take a long time to get anywhere. But we're doing quite good anyway, so we've got a kind of rough shape of how the grind's going to sit on the blade, on the metal. We've just got quite a lot to take away there, but it's good. It's good. It's really good. I've not made any mistakes, which is good as well. Just taking it easy, taking it bit by bit. We're not rushing here. Got all night. So anyway, that's just an update into how I'm getting on. I'm just going over it with the angle grinder. I did take it to the bench grinder just to kind of get in there a little bit, just to square off that bit. But that's good. It's going fine, absolutely fine. It's a bit hard to do near the tip with the angle grinder, so again I took it to the bench grinder just to finish it off like that. But as I said, there's a lot more work to do, so I'll get cracking. Getting there. I bumped the tip a little bit, but the good thing is this knife isn't for anyone else. I'm not selling it, I'm not giving it away to anyone. It's just for me, so if it breaks, then cool. I know what not to do next time. I was just going a bit too hard with it, with the grinder. Not really. I was wetting it, but I just wasn't really wetting it as often or as long as I should have been. Cooling it down. But yeah, it's going pretty good anyway. I like how it's turning out. It's dead rough looking just now, but that's expected. Got a long way to go yet. There's a lot of metal to come off of this. I mean, if you look at the point, look at all that metal still to come off. The edge is there. It just needs a little bit more grinding. But yeah, I'm really happy with this so far. It's going good. The actual edge is starting to get a bit burnt. Scary. So it's getting a bit burnt. So what I'm going to do, at this stage the grinder's just a little bit too heavy for it. It's a little bit too harsh. So I'm going to take it to the bench grinder. So that's looking really good now. I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. As you can see, there's a nice edge there. It's quite sharp, but it's mostly just little buzz that's on it that need to be filed out. But I'm really happy with the way that's turned out there. It's looking really good. What I'm going to do now is I'll get the sanding wheel on the grinder, and we'll go over the handle, and we'll also go over this top part here as well, just to tidy that up. Hopefully I'll be able to keep some of the file design by just giving it a light sanding. The weight's not too bad actually. A lot of the weight is, believe it or not, I mean the blade's a lot bigger than the handle, but it's quite evenly balanced. You can feel it. You can tell it's quite evenly balanced there. So that's really good. It's got a lot of weight behind it, so I could probably do a lot of chopping with it. So I'm going to try and keep as much metal on it as I can now, which is good. So I'm going to just give it a light sanding over the top, take away quite a bit on the handle so that I can get some scales on it, and yeah, that should be good to go. Get that. It's taken up quite a bit. Wonder if that's glad to come off. Right, get the sanding disc on off. Wow. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like a salmon. This looks really good now. Nice and shiny. And originally I was going to put some scales on this, on the handle. But the thing is, I've no epoxy. A lot of people use epoxy to glue their handles on. I've got glue, but I just don't think it'll be strong enough to hold some scales on. I've no pins either, so I can't exactly pin them on. But what I'm thinking is just keep it the way it is. It's really nice, it looks really nice, it's nice and sleek, and it always gives me the option in the future to put scales on it if I want scales on it. So what I'm thinking about doing is just rounding these edges on the handle just to make it a little bit more comfortable. It's just too square in the hand, so I need to round them off a little bit, and I'm going to tidy up the spine there, and that's looking really good so far. Phew. That was a very long time. It's been hours and hours. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's been hours. So there we go. That's it finished. And that's the finished article right there. Really happy with how this turned out. And I'm glad I didn't put scales on it. It's really nice. It's a really nice fancy piece. and if I want to, I can always put scales on it later on at a later date. I'm really happy how that turned out. And I don't think I'm going to be using it. I might take it out into the, probably take it out into the wild maybe a couple of times just to test it out. But I can't see me carrying it about with me all the time. This was just a project to see if I could do it, because it was a file sitting there that I never use, and I just thought may as well make something out of it. So there we go. I think this is just going to sit on show, probably on the wall or somewhere. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. I've really enjoyed making this knife. It was a learning experience. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing getting the opportunity to actually make a knife from a file, and I'm happy it was a Seax, because I've always wanted a Seax. They're quite expensive for a good one. Maybe when I say expensive, they're about 60 to, they can go right up into the hundreds, sometimes thousands of pounds to get one. But this file, I got this file for absolutely nothing, and I've made a Seax out of it, so it cost me nothing at all. So yeah, but anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've any questions at all, let me know in the comments and I'll get straight back to you. Be sure to check out my Facebook page and my Instagram page as well. I always post up lots of good photos and videos and educational things as well. But anyway, yeah, thanks again, and I hope you all stay safe. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.